show, Amirah, so let me know that you've seen how the process. All right,
That's
y'all.
why I was actually doing some research just beforehand, and I only saw it on Facebook. So people just comment on Facebook, so I didn't know how this worked.
And then we go on YouTube. All right, we are live right now with our illustrious guest tonight on a special edition of Off the Record, discussing a wonderful topic dealing with Floyd Mayweather and cancel culture. I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight, and I want to thank our guests for taking time out of their busy schedule for to come on the show to discuss this wonderful topic. Tonight we have from Top 5. He's a usual guest, and he's been on here probably more than anybody in the world. That's Shakir Bay holding it down. Shakir, speak to the people.
That's right. Peace. Right.
We also have Asmeejah. She's been on previously as well, dealing with a wonderful topic that we was dealing with, relationships. Asmeejah, please speak to the people.
Assalamualaikum, peace, greetings.
All right, excellent. And we have a new. Absolutely, happy Thursday. And we have a new guest. This one is a very special guest. She's a great friend of the family and a friend of my sister, and just a great nerd to come on the show to bring her great input. Amirah Rahman holding it down. Amirah, speak to the people.
Hi, people. I'm a newbie.
Josh, all right. Okay, Mimi says, hey, y'all. Of course, Mimi's on time for this one because Amirah's on here. All right, now listen. I would like to say, speaking of Mimi put up the money for this, this month. It costs money to put on these podcasts. So ABC, I Love Me sponsored this month, but that's all. I got to give her a shout out for this. Thank you, everybody. Get Mimi's book, ABC, I Love Me, holding it down.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mimi.
Thanks, Memers.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Amirah, for making it weird with the nickname. Listen, today we're going to ask, what is canceling, right? What is canceling? When somebody gets canceled, we want to clear that for people who may be watching who don't know what canceling is. What is canceling? We'll start with Asmeejah.
Canceling, basically, it's when something unfavorable happens in, the media world, in the public arena, I guess also in our, day-to-day lives as well, but most of the time it happens publicly, and individuals involved do some unsavory things. Oftentimes things we feel hurt the Black community specifically, if we want to focus on that. And everybody feels like they're canceled. We're trading them in, for somebody more favorable. The delegation comes together and it's like, everybody cancels that person. What that means in our everyday lives, I don't know what that means economically, different things, but most certainly in the public eye, it appears as though we reject that individual.
Okay, excellent. Walaikum salam, name says ASA family. Amirah, what is canceling to you?
I guess I would echo the same sentiments as Asmeejah, in the sense that canceling is if someone does something that is harmful to the Black community or any population, and thus we reject and we remove our support. It doesn't necessarily have to be a person. It can be an entity, hence H&M, or it can be people, it can be, and then there's the whole trading thing that goes, well, we want to trade this Black person for this, I don't know, Caucasian or what have you.
Okay, excellent. Shakir, what is canceling?
I agree with both of them. Cancel is when you cut off, when you straight, you're in the area of your own. You just an outlaw, like you're the stepbrother. Yeah, you no more friends, no more nothing. You get no more benefits of the culture, no more love. Like you did something to upset the family.
Okay,
that's what I call it.
Excellent. Well, what is canceling to you all in the audience who are watching? You can write your comments. Well, I feel canceling. I echo your sentiments as well. Thank you, Amirah, for giving me that catchphrase. I echo you all sentiments as well. But to me, I just think canceling is a form of bullying somebody instead of confronting them or challenging one of their ideas. I think it's just like Is what we do. Is like, I disagree with something you said, so you threw. I just shun you as opposed to confronting you. So that's what I think it is. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, what qualifies someone to cancel someone else? We'll start with you, Shakir.
I would say canceling is something that if you do something as far as like, say disrespect Floyd. Let's say Floyd is our topic today. So let's just say Floyd. The way he went about it without thinking, like if you could think before you speak, or if you do something that's not good, as the black people would say, like supporting Trump or even going to Gucci or whatever. I think that you should do it on your time or in your little area. If you don't agree with it, just go about it and just be quiet. And you don't have to voice your opinion until you actually see what's going on, instead of sounding kind of ignorant or not caring about the black people. It comes off as if you don't even care how we feel or how we think. And when you're in the limelight like that, it's because of the black people that allowed you to get there. Most of the blacks in that position because of the support of other black people.
Okay,
so I think you should respect our
Shakir, listen what I'm saying, Shakir. I think I mispronounced the question. What qualifies someone to cancel somebody else? Like who's in a position to cancel somebody? Is what I'm saying.
Anybody, regardless of, you don't have to have money. You don't have to have anything. I think the people, if it's something to do with you and your culture, you're able to cancel somebody. I don't think it's a specific person.
Okay. Okay, Amirah, who's qualified to cancel someone?
I would say canceling doesn't necessarily have to be a big movement. I can choose to omit my support from a person. I can choose to cancel. I don't know what's something I don't know what I can't think of anything offhand, but like Chick-fil-A, I can choose not to support Chick-fil-A because that's my choice. It's on an individual basis. It's not because it's groupthink and the whole internet says we need to cancel this person, so thus I'm going to go with what the masses say I should do. It's whatever resonates with you as an individual.
Okay, excellent. Asmeejah, what qualifies someone to cancel somebody?
I feel like if I'm a stakeholder or if I've invested in any way, people wanted to cancel R. Kelly.
Hold on, Asmeejah, I can't hear. I think somebody in the background got some like noise in the background. Somebody got some noise in the background. Okay, go ahead, Asmeejah.
I think that if I've invested in any way or if we're connected, then I feel like I have the ability to cancel, especially if I've invested money, time, energy, attention, support, however you might define your individual support. I think that enables me to cancel a person for my personal reasons. But at the same time, I do feel like there's variations with that. I feel like there's definitely variations with that. Like Sister Amirah said, she says Chick-fil-A. Well, I cancel Walmart because I don't like standing in long lines. Okay, so I'll do CVS. I'll do Family Dollar. I'll do anywhere that I could get in and get out. Walmart's canceled. So, and I mean, I feel like I have the right as a patron to decide that within myself. Now, as far as an individual in my community or like a relative or, someone that on a spiritual level, I have a connection to, I feel like it gets a little more intricate.
Okay, excellent. And I thank everyone for watching as we talk about cancel culture. Walaikum salam, Salima Muhammad. All right, excellent. Okay, now we're going with Amirah. Do you think Black people should boycott Gucci or other luxury designers?
I don't know many people that can afford Gucci. So like that doesn't necessarily affect me. I think it's good to see our Black celebrities and influencers using their power or removing their power from these big luxury brands. But I don't know many people of color that wear this stuff. Maybe they can't afford it. I can't speak to anyone's pockets, but like I don't see many people that's running around in Gucci. So yeah, I can boycott Gucci, but like I don't have any Gucci. So like ask me to boycott Target, that's a different conversation. So.
Okay, and I'm glad you said that because, for example, when a lot of the people who I saw that were boycotting the NFL, you know, I'm a huge NFL player. I mean, like fan because I play football. I love football. A lot of people who were saying boycott it weren't fans anyway. So for them to be like they didn't watch it anyway, so it's like, oh, I'm boycotting NFL. It's like, well, you ain't watching, so it is really it's not the same. You didn't sacrifice nothing because it's not your fight. So I think that that's a good point. Maybe if you don't own Gucci and you're talking about boycotting Gucci, then it's kind of like, what are we talking about? Asmeejah, do you think that black people should boycott Gucci?
I've been boycotting Gucci. I put that on another post because I mean I have. I actually do. I think that black people, I mean, long before this situation, should do more research about what it is we support. And I mean, myself included, because we don't manufacture things like we used to, you know, in our community, in the Muslim community, we know people who manufacture goods, but generally speaking, you know, what we purchase and what we, you know, go to the store and get, we haven't manufactured it. So we don't know where it has come from. We don't know what kind of political ties these companies have, what investments they make. I think that we should pay more attention to that. We probably should have been boycotting Gucci. I mean, and I speak for myself included, if I'm not patronizing Black-owned companies and I know of some that I need to patronize, then I don't need to go and, you know, break my penny bank and, you know, support Gucci. That's just my personal opinion. For people who can afford it, for people who have experienced luxury clothing, because there are some luxuries that I think Black people can afford and that we do invest in. I'm not saying you should not aspire to have the best, you know? So I think that maybe if we could afford Gucci, it might be more of a break for us. We might feel like, oh man, you know, but I personally have not experienced the luxury of Gucci. I do know people who have Gucci flip-flops, belts, whatever.
I'm not for the flip-flops.
If that's all you're buying, then just stop buying that belt. I mean, because that's all you. I'm not trying to be funny, but if I just have a belt and I have flip-flops and I can't afford Gucci clothing for real, then what does it hurt to just not support that and choose some other, you know, good or some other company to support? I do think that Black people, us here, we should not support anything that does not support us.
Okay, Shakir, excellent. And thank you all for everybody who tuned in. Tabari, shout out to you for clapping. Shakir, what do you think? Should Black people boycott Gucci?
I'll jump back on what you said about the football, because I'm a huge football fan myself, and I love watching football. And what they did to Colin Kaepernick, you know, I think that we should all boycott it as well as Gucci because of the disrespect that they've thrown at us. But the love that we have for the sports and Gucci and all this stuff, it's hard for us to unite and just say stop, because they got a power over us that controls us and control what we like and what we want. So we will continue to buy Gucci, we'll continue to watch football because we have no power of our own selves and no love for ourselves. Like when one Black person is attacked by another, we should all support them. Like as Donald Trump, he made the whole Kaepernick thing about kneeing and all that. Then he had all the supporters of the white race to get behind him. It was hardly no white. It's probably like one or two white people that took a knee for Kaepernick because of their unity. I think that's what we lack is unity, and unity is power. If every Black person stopped buying Gucci, every Black person stopped watching NFL, they will see the impact, and then they will tell all the other people that is influenced by Black culture to back off a little bit. So it is a big, huge thing is when we boycott. So I think it is very important that we boycott Gucci.
Okay.
Whether it's a belt, a sock, or whatever.
Excellent. Okay, Shakir, you brought up the fact that you are a fan and you support Kaepernick. Because you support Kaepernick, did you watch football this year and did you watch the Super Bowl?
Yes, sir. I did support it by watching it.
And that's my
but
and
did I
wait.
Listen now. And I said because we are mentally weak, and I am addicted to watching football. So I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say, oh, it's easier to stop. It's a habit. It's like a bad habit. It's like telling somebody stop smoking or stop drinking, knowing that it could mess up your life and mess up your body. You still gonna continue to do it because you don't know how bad it really is until you get cancer, or until you get something that shows you like you only got a certain amount of days to live. That's how weak we are mentally.
Absolutely.
I am a victim of that.
Thank you. But Shakir, should me, Amirah, and Asmeejah say, man, Shakir, you Conan, bro. You up here watching the Super Bowl. Should we attack you because that's your decision? Should we attack you and call you a sellout or Uncle Tom because you said you support Kaepernick but didn't watch football? Should we attack you?
I think you should. I think you should shame. Sometimes you shame them, you'll change them. You know, so if you shame me enough, hopefully it'll get to my head. It'll get to my head and it'll change my situation. Because it's not right. It's not that influence. All that you deserve all those backlashes, but because he's still without a job, means of eating and supporting his family, and we over here watching this and helping them continue to pay their players. You know, that's not. I don't think that's good. I think that it was wrong of me to support the NFL.
Okay, wait, something, Drew. Go ahead. I'm listening. I was just talking to the audience. Go ahead.
Is it okay if I say something, or do you want to say
something? No, absolutely. Go ahead. Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Shakir, something you would say. Go ahead.
Okay, so two things. I personally feel like sometimes because we boycott and there's no real like directives, it's just like a blanket boycott. We just cancel. A lot of us don't understand what to do with that. You know what I'm saying? So if I boycotted the NFL too, but again, it was easy. It's not something I'm interested in. So I personally don't feel like I can consider myself having sacrificed anything or having, picked that up as, I can't take pride in it. I can't say, oh, well, let me shame you because you watched the NFL when I didn't. I wasn't going to. I mean, I watched some football, but it didn't hurt me to not watch it. So, there are other aspects though, because this is really deep. It's layered. You have the veterans, the argument. There are a lot of veterans who were saying they supported Kaepernick. There were a lot of players. His own players didn't necessarily support him. It was very layered, I feel. So I feel like you can point out your own hypocrisy, or you can point out, you can show where, okay, this doesn't make sense without having to shame other people. I also feel it's very important for us not to shame ourselves, but while also acknowledging the truth. Like brother said, yes, I watched, football. It's an addiction. Some people have been watching football since they were children. It's almost like you don't think about it, So I get that, but I don't think you should shame. I just feel like a person should, in their activism or their personal life, decide what their sacrifice will be and try to commit to that. Because in some other way, if you dig deep, you can find where the person who shut the TV off is supporting some other entity, Budweiser. Like we can find that somewhere else. So what's the point in shaming? Like I said, most of us are not manufacturing goods. Many of us are striving towards entrepreneurship, but we still do a job. We still get education in institutions that weren't necessarily built with us in mind. So I just don't see any point in shaming each other or ourselves. I just feel like you have to choose what your sacrifice will be consistent, and at least be aware. At least be aware. I feel like I support Kaepernick.
Okay, excellent. Okay, Tabar, Waleed says hell yeah. Drew says ASA Islam. Tabar says boycotting Gucci is a waste. Will not bankrupt them, so it's a waste of time. All right. Thank you, Tabar, and Drew, for your comments. Amirah,
yes.
Is canceling or trading celebrities, is that an effective tool, or is that just something that makes us feel good?
I can't necessarily answer that in the sense that canceling has become this popular thing within recent times. So we don't know the what the long-term effects are. A lot of times we say we're going to cancel someone and then let Floyd Mayweather have a fight in 3, 4, 5 months. Everybody there ringside wearing Gucci probably. So, I mean, I can't say it's effective or not because I haven't seen like the results of it. I think that we live in an instantaneous time where, all right, we're going to ride this Floyd Mayweather bandwagon. We're going to boycott him. We're going to boycott all of these different things. And then the next story comes. Mm-hmm. And then everybody has forgotten about the whatever happened beforehand. So canceling it seems temporary. It seems something that's popular. It seems like it's something that just won't last. So I can't necessarily speak to it outside of what I've seen in the recent year or so.
Okay. Shakir, do you think that canceling celebrities or trading celebrities in is it effective, or is it just something that makes us feel good?
It's only effective with unity. If every Black person could find that unity and find that strength to actually boycott it, yes, you'll see some changes. But if we don't have no unity, you're not going to see any changes at all. But that trading stuff is just TV and Instagram. But canceling is real. Canceling, that's the real deal. But it all takes unity. That's hard for us to do. Like everybody now, I'm seeing everybody want to be very cultured. When we was growing up, it was like nobody but the nation really just speaking on black people's problems or black people history or whatever. When Barack Obama was president, all the black people was asleep. Everybody thought that we made changes. We thought we was overthinking the white man, or we was overthinking what was going on. Everybody said life has changed. They're not the same as they was back in the day. But now they just changed it up on us and brought it back with Trump to let us know that they're still here. They just come in a different forms, or like they say they used to wear KKK, now they're wearing police outfits. So we just gotta be. I think that through our unity, we could accomplish anything that we want to accomplish. Because somebody else could come out with Gucci or come out with something else, and we will all support it, just so that we don't have to go to Gucci stores, or we don't have to go somewhere else that don't like us. I've seen Prada on there lately. I've seen a lot of Burberry now on there. I've seen a lot of people using that blackface for everything now. Yeah, Montclair. They all trying to just dogging us out, and I think that they're trying to show us that regardless of what we do, they still going to come and run towards us. And that's the only thing I didn't like about Floyd Mayweather is the way he did it. If he would have bought his Gucci and went home, I would have respected that. Like me, I've watched football, but I'm not gonna go and promote it all on TV and stuff. I'm not gonna show the world, yeah, it's okay, it's still okay. Nah, you still got to. If you got a little weakness, keep it to yourself until you get over your weakness.
Yeah, shit. I'm telling you right now, watching football ain't nothing to why. I'm just telling y'all. I'm just telling y'all about the football.
Hey Josh, what would stop you from watching football? What can they do to make you stop watching football?
I mean, what we talking about?
What's the worst they could do?
That's
what they gonna do. It's just fun. It's just a fun thing. Like to me, it's just fun. It's just like what they.
So do you look at that as normal or a problem?
What? Like what they do? Like that's what I'm saying. Like Kaepernick ain't had nothing to me. Him taking a knee ain't had nothing to do with the football play. That's what I'm saying. That's
Kaepernick's situation was very, very huge to black culture. He took a knee. That was
I'm saying, but it had nothing to do with football. He wasn't had nothing to do with football. That's about mentality.
Right, but no, you're saying that it didn't have nothing to do with football, but why he didn't get a job? If it didn't have nothing to do with football, he
was on the bench.
Shakir,
but he sued the NFL. He sued the NFL. That's who's going to pay him.
No, I get that. That's why.
Better than 90% of the back.
No, I get that. What I'm saying is the LA Clippers a couple years ago, their owner got caught saying something racist on the phone with his black girlfriend and saying he ain't want niggas at the game, or why you gotta be there smelling with niggas at the game. If you think for 1 second that all black people is gonna stop boycott the Clippers or boycott the NBA, what do we sound like? Because one racist owner was racist. Like it's like all right,
but the NFL has a whole blackball him, so it's not just. But
they handled it.
They blackballed him because he decided to take a knee for what's going on as far as black people and violence and things like that. Granted, okay, that's one owner in the NBA. He said some foul stuff. They didn't blackball any NBA players behind their what did LeBron James was wearing, like I Can't Breathe shirts and things like that. They weren't blackballed because of that. He took a knee, and he has every right to do that. And because they're like, oh nigga, you gonna speak? Oh nah, we taking everything you got. Sorry, excuse my language. I'm trying to be better.
Exactly.
So they did conspire. I don't know. I feel like they conspired. That situation is like, at the end of the day, the NFL conspired and basically said nobody is going to hire him. I do feel like as Black people, we have a difficulty understanding how things affect us. You know, I do feel like well, what's the point? A lot of us, because we've experienced racism, or racism is so prevalent, especially, you know, white supremacy, excuse me, is everywhere. We see things like this, and we do feel like not defeated per se, but if you know that, if you're aware and you're conscious, then you know these things happen, so you're not shocked, you know. Absolutely. And you feel like if I'm living in my everyday life, and the way I combat white supremacy, the way I combat racism is how I raise my children, how I carry myself, how, you know, if I live my life as you know, in how do I put it, in respect of the beauty and the honor of my Blackness, then I don't necessarily feel like I have to combat white supremacy in a way that everybody else might feel like they have to combat white supremacy. I talked about things like this at work, and people were just in an uproar. They had so much to say. They were coming into information that I already was aware of, and they're very emotional. I get emotional. With social media, it makes you emotional, but at the end of the day, you know, it's just not going to stop it. That alone is not going to stop it. So I understand why you feel that way, but I was proud to see someone who is of a biracial ethnicity. He's technically, I feel, privileged. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And he took a position that, to me, so many other people should be taking his same position, because they have way more at stake than he does, but they don't. So I respected that he decided to take that stance, and he was very specific, and he said it was about police brutality. He was specific to say, I reject the lyrics of the anthem. You know, we've been not standing and say the Pledge of Allegiance, pledge to the flag, but so many other people are not. So I respected him coming into that level of consciousness, and I do feel like that garners our support. For me personally, I wasn't watching the NFL, so, you know, my sacrifice, I couldn't stop laughing. But I'm just saying, I felt like that garnered support. I would have loved to have seen, and obviously the Super Bowl didn't have the ratings. Stores have been shut down. There have been some after effects of, you know, the Super Bowl boycott, but plenty of Black people were still watching the NFL. I like that non-Black people supported Kaepernick. Do you know what I'm saying? He rallied a lot of people who normally would not have been open or aware of this issue. He got them aware. So I do respect. I felt like that garnered our attention. Boycotting the NFL, you would have to decide in your personal life if you were convicted to do that or not do that, you know, and what effect it would make.
Excellent point. Thank you all for watching. I'm coming right to your comments, but I have a question. If I come to you all's jobs, right, and I come in there and I say, I just saw the autobiography of Malcolm X. Read the autobiography of Malcolm X. I watched the movie Malcolm X, and I come in and you all work in a diverse community, right? And y'all give me a job. This is my first day there. I'm working, and all of a sudden, because I read Malcolm X, I say I charge the white man with being the greatest robber on earth. I charge the white man with being the greatest killer on earth. And I just come in there and you like, whoa. It ain't got nothing to do with where y'all work at. But I'm fit. This is the spirit I came over with. I'm just tired of police brutality. And I get fired. And they blackball me. Should that affect your job? Because I got the spirit? It ain't got nothing to do with where you work at. Like, why? I can't help. You can't help that somebody just got this man. Kaepernick. Nobody told you to just. That came out of nowhere.
That's different. Like he did a.
It's very different.
I know. Like how? Ain't nobody telling him who the police.
Because it's not mandatory. Listen, who control the media? Who showed the cameras all of Kaepernick taking a knee? I'm serious. He was being to himself taking a knee. If they wanted that backlash, they wanted to show you. It wasn't. You think it's a coincidence? Kaepernick don't have the cameras. That's. They say you don't have to stand up for the national anthem. So he said, "Okay, I'm gonna take my knee." Marshawn Lynch been sitting down forever. You don't never stand up for the national anthem. Nothing ever happened.
And I
so you got to realize that they know exactly what they're doing. But you can't. Who's the greatest technology that we know of? It's a trick in the game. It's a fact. It's a game, Josh.
And we know
I'm
this.
serious.
We know this too because of how.
But they know we ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, we know this because of how
they just got a little more slicker.
They tried to say it was about the veterans. We know this because they were like,
right.
oh, well, police brutality. No, because that is, I mean, like, who can, if he is a black man in America, he has the right to feel how he feels. So they reframed it and they said, oh, he's disrespecting the veterans. He's disrespecting America.
And the veteran is the one that told him to take a knee.
Sure
he spoke to a veteran. That's who told him.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad you all make extra points. Everybody's making extra points in the audience. I'm about to read your questions and your comments. I'm glad. I just want to say this. I'm glad that Kaepernick got his check and that he got his money. And I know that that's going to do a lot for the black community. All right. Listen, Mimi said.
Wait. Hold on.
That man got
John,
paid. That man
and you can't, got paid. No. Your NBA. wait. Your NBA one was different. Your NBA was still different than Kaepernick.
Kaepernick got paid so much money.
You can't compare your NBA. Wait. John, hold on. We got to backtrack your NBA story. Your NBA owner, that was totally different in Kaepernick's situation. He got fired, by the way, for what he did. And he got his whole team taken away. So why should we boycott something like that if what happened, if he got his whole team taken away from him? We're satisfied off that. That shows the NBA showed that, okay.
Are you satisfied that Kaepernick got
paid? But the NBA showed
Kaepernick got paid so much money that they have a confidentiality agreement. Like you can't even tell me how much money he got paid.
It's not that. Why we have to go to the courts? It's bad that he had to go through court like that. Like that shows that they didn't.
I'm saying you made it seem like he was broke.
They had to
he
give
can't
it to
feed
him.
his family. You made it seem like he was broke and couldn't feed his family. The man a millionaire.
It's not about that. It's not about that, bro. It's about the principle. It's about how they did him. You see, I'm saying they really blackballed him. Right? He can't throw a back. He can be a backup nowhere.
Guess what?
It's like a spit in our face.
Listen
to this. If all the black people let me tell you how bad our unity is. If all the black people stop playing basketball, stop playing football, would you still watch it? Would it still be exciting?
Yes.
So if all the black people came out, you still would watch it live.
Yes, bro, I like sports.
I can't see you keep watching. You probably watch it. Probably the next year you'll watch. So you watch hockey?
No, because that's what I'm saying. That's different. That's
do you watch hockey?
Sport. But not if everybody in hockey was black, I wouldn't watch it either. It's not because it's black and white. It's just because I don't watch hockey. I don't play hockey.
Do you watch golf? You watch golf?
No. And when Tiger Woods was winning, I didn't watch it either. No, I don't care. No, I don't care.
You watch baseball?
No.
You watch baseball?
No, don't watch baseball.
That's the power of black people. We make stuff cool.
Okay, now listen. This is what you
said. Tiger Woods had a lot of black people watching golf.
But what I'm saying is, I wasn't one of them. That's not my culture. That's not
tennis.
That's not
Serena Williams. Tennis. Black people start watching a little bit of tennis.
I don't watch it. Never. I don't watch not one match. No, I'm not watching it. I don't care. No. Listen, y'all. Mimi says cancel culture destroyed.
Top 5. You mentioned her.
No, I respect her, but I didn't watch it. I don't watch it. Mimi said cancel culture destroyed Chrisette Michelle's career for what? It's destructive to the community. You can't say you love our people and then not educate them. Cancel George Zimmerman. He's still living his best life, so why stop a black person's livelihood? Mimi, I'm glad you said that. Thank you very much for that. That's an excellent point.
That's right.
But apparently Shakir wants to cancel her because she's going for Trump. I don't know. Mimi said Mayweather and T.I. have personal.
I agree.
Mimi said Mayweather and T.I. have personal beef. Tiny. They need to leave us out of that. Deion says stand for something or we'll fall for everything. We can't always play defense. That's right, Deion. You stand strong, brother. Stand for something. That's right, Deion.
That's right.
Carmen Knight says they made the example out of him, and Cardi B is a perfect example by standing for him. Mimi says I agree. Asmeejah. Right. Naima says facts. I don't know if she was saying that too. Tabari says I'm watching football. I'm not participating in any boycotts. Thank you, Tabari, for that. I'm with you though, Tabari. You know what I'm saying? Mimi said that impersonation. Thank you, Mimi, for recognizing my Malcolm X. I'm an actor, yo, so I had to do it real quick. Listen. Deion says our biggest weakness is our unity. Tabari says that really hurt the team owners, made a racist comment and was able to sell his team. It really didn't hurt him. Okay. Excellent points, you all. Now I have a question. Is Mayweather, by doing what's best for him and his family, right, by not speaking on personal, like certain issues and providing his family, does that make him a sellout? Before you answer, I'm going to start with Amirah, then we're going to go to Asmeejah, then we're going to go to Shakir, and people in the audience. Before you answer that question, I want to quote Beyonce's husband, Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z, aka Jigga, and what he said. This is what Jay-Z said. He said, truthfully, I want to rhyme like common sense, but I sold 5 mil. I ain't been rhyming like common sense. When he said, when your sense got that much in common with your, he's like, when your sense got that much in common, F perception, go with what makes sense. Since I know what I'm up against, I can't help the poor if I'm one of them. So I get rich and give back. To me, that's the win-win. So what he was saying was, he could rap like Common and be woke. He could rap like Common and be conscious, but he chose to go big pimping. He chose to go American gangster, and he got rich. That's right. He could have went like Common, but he said, I'm going the other way to get rich because you can't help the poor if you're one of them. Is that any different than what Mayweather did?
That's on Amirah, right?
You talking to me?
Who you want to speak on it?
I'm sorry, my children just walked in here. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Hey, Amirah's children.
I'm sorry, Josh. I have children, and they're not.
I said, hey, Amirah's children.
So, let's see. So your question is, one more time.
Is looking out for yourself, like saying I'm not going to be woke because I'm going to take care of my family financially. Is that selling out or is that just self-preservation?
I don't think. I mean,
that's not what Mayweather said. Now you add on stuff. Don't add on stuff like that.
That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying.
I don't feel like that's what he's necessarily saying. Like Floyd Mayweather, I don't feel like that's what he's saying because I feel like with the whole I'm going to Gucci and all of that, like you could, if you felt that way, you could have just been quiet. There's power in silence. You can be quiet. You don't have to choose to speak on that. If you choose to continue to support Gucci and all of these other brands that are problematic, that's your choice. But it becomes harmful to the Black community when you, as a figure and a person with power, say things like that, knowing that people look up to you and people may follow suit and disregard our history and what's behind the whole blackface and everything like that. I think he can choose to not support it. He don't have to be woke and things like that, but be quiet. If that's what you choose to do, just be quiet.
Okay. Excellent. The reason I use Common and Jay-Z is because Common on one hand is saying like, it's a Black struggle, yada. Jay-Z's like, get money. Big pimping is about Black capitalism. It's about success. And before 444 wasn't speaking on social issues the same way Common and everybody else was. So I'm saying we revere him for that. Kevin Hart, he's not going to speak on the same issues as Mike Epps or Dave Chappelle or everybody else, and he's choosing the route to be more successful. So I'm saying, if the reason I'm bringing this up, Drake's not going to make no woke song. He's not going to talk about Black Lives Matter. He's not going to say nothing about any controversial topic, and he's more successful. So I'm saying, if you attack Mayweather, are you attacking everyone who does this? He's following the same blueprint. It's saying, I'm not going to touch this subject.
He chose to speak. I don't think it's the same thing. Like he chose to say that I'm going to Gucci, and they're like, "Well,
because they put the camera on his opinion."
He could have said no comment, but he chose that I'm going to Gucci, and I'm going to Gucci. Go to Gucci and be quiet. Like you don't have to. You don't have. It's like it's an arrogance that came with that statement. I'm sure Kevin Hart and all of them that choose not to speak, which they have the right to do. I'm sure they continue to support, and I wouldn't be surprised if they chose to continue to support. But the fact of the matter, like, he was so flamboyant in his statement, so arrogant in his statement. It was basically like, forget what y'all talking about. I'm still doing what I'm doing. And he has every right to do that, but you need to be careful in how you relay those messages. You can choose not to.
Absolutely. Asmeejah, what you think? What you think?
So, success is relative, first of all. You know, so if in this situation we're equating success to money, I accept that and I'll go forward with that, you know, as the definition. So Jay-Z, though, I don't know when he wrote those lyrics or what album, you know, like when in his career, but I would guess that it came later. He said that. So what I hear in there is a justification for why he did not choose to be a conscious rapper. Because I mean, if you on the streets and you hustling, there's consciousness, and there can be consciousness in that. You mean like I mean, like, those things are intertwined. So he could have come out of the gate addressing Black people's issues. You know, nobody would have felt like, oh, we don't want to listen to him. I just feel like he chose to rap about whatever was real to him, just like Common. He found his niche. You know, that was during the neo soul era. And who's to say his lyrics wouldn't have graduated to something different too? But that's where he started. When I think about one of the greatest rap groups in the world, Outkast.
Hey, right now.
I'm just saying that I feel like their lyrics, you see. So I feel like with Jay-Z, he chose to say that. In my opinion, I hear justification for why he did not come out as a woke rapper, and then grew to a point in his career where maybe he had the money, he felt like he owned himself, and so now he has the power to dictate and to have these messages. But even with that, he still got chin checked by the Jewish community when he made a factual statement. So I hear everything he's saying, but I don't fully agree with it. I do think that Black people have to understand, or people in general have to understand, there is the truth in what he's saying is that if you have more resources and you garner more resources, you can then help others and bring along others with him. I'm sure he has plenty of Black people on his payroll. I'm sure he has plenty of people of color, women, you know, groups that will otherwise be disenfranchised in some way. I'm sure he's opened doors for a lot of people. Diddy has, a lot of people have. So I agree with attaining success so that you can help others, be an example to others. But I mean, as a follower of the most honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, it is possible to be successful and not compromise your integrity, to always still care, you know, to basically work your mission. It's possible. So I don't want to believe that he couldn't have been successful if he had decided to, you know, minister to the people through his music. He could have been. It's just we're obviously equating success in this example to money.
To money. Hence the money team and Mayweather. And that's why I brought it up, is because when I was talking to somebody the other day, they kept talking about Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole, and then bring up Drake. And I said, you can't compare them if Drake is going to be, he's going to be more successful in money or record sales if he does not address Black issues. You're going to be more successful. So I can't get mad at Mayweather and then not be mad at Drake and everybody else who did the same thing. Kevin Hart does the same thing. He's like, I ain't touching Black Lives Matter. I'm not touching that. They all do the same thing. So if you're going to cancel Mayweather, shouldn't you be everybody else is doing the same thing?
I just think I think Mayweather feels like he's free because he's rich. So part of me feels like he doesn't identify with the issues that people are facing because he feels like money has bought his freedom. And in this world, money can buy a man a certain level of freedom. But at the same time, I feel personally like he went into Gucci and he wanted to speak on it because he had a problem with T.I. So for me, it's kind of like, it's like a team thing. It's like, dang, you know, you 5 Heartbeats, you left us hanging for some shit you had, you know, with, excuse my language, you left us hanging for some stuff you had with T.I. And I feel like that was what he was saying. That was at the the base of what he was saying. I do believe he feels like he's his own person. I don't follow trends, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of people have pointed out that Mayweather probably buys way more Gucci than all the Black people combined. So like for him to not make that one purchase and stood in unison, even if he stood in silence, even if, you know, a few months down the line, he decided he wanted to go to Gucci. If right after the people called for a ban of Gucci and they're in question, I don't even know if Gucci had apologized yet. You know, so I mean, he didn't even give it time. I think that he could have just not done that or done it quietly.
Absolutely.
Like y'all said.
Shakir, is T.I. using this as a way to jab at him based off of timing?
I think if it was anybody, T.I. would have said something just because of his track record. But at this specific thing, because they do have something personal with each other, he probably should just state this one out and let the people speak for him. But because people would, because they would think about it just like you said it. They'll be like, oh, it's just personal. But if you check T.I., he always speak up pretty good when it comes to Black stuff. So I can't fault him for it. But somebody should have told him to stay out this one. But when you say success, like I agree with her. When we say success about money, you only saying success is money. Like when you talk about all these people, Jay-Z, when you talk about T.I., you know, that's just like, it's still that slavery mentality. I'm serious, like the house man and the field man. Like you like, oh well, I'm gonna be good to master so I can stay in the house. I ain't trying to go out there in the field.
I agree.
So is that man being successful? Or like Nat Turner, he fought for his freedom, trying to fight for his freedom, but he died. So who do you respect more? The man that stayed alive?
I agree.
And now their children's gonna be slaves, have that slavery mentality because of what their parents put in them to just shut up and do the job? Or do you respect the man that died that's trying to fight for his freedom? Like you gotta put in different perspectives of success, you know, because to me, Muhammad Ali, he didn't have a better record than Mayweather, but he's more of an icon figure than Mayweather. Mayweather had more money, more everything, but Muhammad Ali is still the greatest boxer, is considered the greatest boxer because of what he did outside that ring. Right. See, so if you want to be great or good, you know, you got to separate the two.
Oh shit!
Because you keep saying money. You keep saying money. You keep saying money. No, because you keep saying money. So how much? So do we all just sell ourselves for money?
Money Mayweather. We're talking about Money Mayweather. So money is.
No, but Mayweather been begging for that Muhammad Ali image. He always been saying, "I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest now." But the people is not giving it to him. So he might just be a sad baby. He might be crying. He might be mad. He might be mad at us for not accepting it.
Excellent. Shakir, I have a question. You said just what you're saying right now, based off of what somebody does outside of their sport. Is LeBron James greater than Michael Jordan?
To me.
No, Shakir, because you're a Michael Jordan fan.
Greater. Is he
greater?
Off the court,
right
LeBron
now,
James. Listen. Off the court, no. Let me tell you the difference though. Off the court, LeBron James is way greater than Kobe, Jordan, all of. No, you have to separate the two because on the court, it's totally different.
That's what I'm saying. So is he greater though?
Muhammad Ali? No. The debate between them is that Muhammad Ali. Some people say Muhammad Ali is a better boxer as well.
No. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying that.
No, because you can't compare LeBron James to Michael Jordan on the court. On the court.
Is he greater? Based off what you just said,
you cannot compare them two.
But if you take a stand for something, does
as
that make
a boxer? Because yes, on and off the court though, you got to be great on the court and off. Like Kaepernick, I'm not saying Kaepernick's the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. So you still got to separate it. But if it's close, you're gonna go with the guy that did it all. Like if LeBron James win 2 more rings, he ain't got to win 6. He ain't got to win 6 rings. We would say he's greater than Michael Jordan.
Perfect. And then,
because what he did off the court. I think you got to get to the people.
Okay, Shakir, we got to let other people say something. Go ahead.
I think you make good points. I think too, when you're comparing LeBron and Michael Jordan, I personally feel like that's unfair because first of all, Michael Jordan, like LeBron isn't even the age that Michael Jordan was when he retired. Like he's not finished with his career. And in the same respect with Mayweather, you know, my prayer would be that he would, I don't know what he does outside of boxing. So that's something for me and other people to kind of explore too, and not let the world dictate, you know, what we know about him, because we could find out what all he does outside of boxing if we want to. I would hope that he has his hand in his community. I would hope that he, you know, is charitable, and that he has a lot of other moving pieces, you know, that benefit other people beside himself, considering how successful he is.
That's what they say. That's what they say.
I mean, but I'm not mad at it, because I think that Black people have to understand, like, you know, our Blackness is not purely tied to struggle. It is tied to success. It's tied to, you know, to excellence as well. So I don't have a problem. I have a problem with people who have a problem with Mayweather because he's rich. That's the problem.
Me too. Me too.
My only issue would be with him is that in his position with the money that he has, and it can't, my issue with him is my same issue with other people like him who have money, who basically benefit. We invest our energy, our support in them, and we want to know, well, what do you do for the people? I would be satisfied to know that not only does he do things for Black people, but he does things for poor people, that he does things for third world countries. Like, what do you do besides just make money for yourself? So I would imagine he does those things. I still feel like he could have took one for the team. He could have made it less about himself, but his career is not yet over. So Muhammad Ali is, I mean, I think he's the greatest. I mean, I'm having a difficult time thinking of someone that comes before him. Mayweather could very well be the greatest, but I think it's going to take some spiritual enlightenment too at the same time.
Yes, ma'am.
And we also don't know how conscious he is, because, you know, the media gives us what they want us to receive too. So it's going to be up to us as well to educate ourselves. Like when we're talking about banning Gucci and whoever else, if we dig a little deeper, there's going to be lots of people that we probably or entities that we should take our support from. I personally, I'm not itching to take my support from someone like Mayweather if I haven't succeeded in taking my support from known entities, organizations, establishments, institutions that perpetuate white supremacy. That would be my problem.
Excellent. Amirah, I see all your comments. I'm coming right to your comments, and I thank y'all for your patience. Amirah, is T.I. using this platform to attack Mayweather because of Tiny, and he's just using this as a smoke screen? I can't hear you. You on mute.
Sorry. Initially, I didn't think that was the case when he responded to seeing the clip of the whole him going into the Gucci store thing. But the whole fuck nigga song and all of that, excuse my language. Sorry, people. That's the name of the song.
It is.
The song and all of that, I think, and then when Floyd Mayweather's DJ, was it a DJ?
Something like that.
But like, when someone from his camp came out and kind of called T.I. out on it, I think that kind of fueled the fire. I don't think initially it was this is about my wife and all of that. I think T.I. would have called out anybody because that's kind of his brand. But I believe that didn't hurt that Floyd Mayweather has history with his wife. So I think that was kind of like gasoline added to the fire. I don't think initially that was his MO.
Okay, we come right back to that point, but I got to get to these comments. Dion, exactly. Maybe I haven't seen him give back shit. Jay is actually making moves for the culture. I'm glad you feel you have your opinion, Dion. I agree. He needs to be quiet. He was local, loud and ignorant. He was loud and ignorant. His Gucci, he can buy Gucci in silence. Excellent. Carmen, he can give back at this point. He is being extra because of T.I. Wonderful. Naima, Black people are Mayweather's main supporters. It's a slap in the face for him to go out and spend $50,000 after Gucci's blatant racism. Wonderful. Angela, was Floyd right in saying that you want me to stop supporting these brands and y'all, my people, don't buy my stuff? Excellent. Tabari, I don't see Mayweather being a sellout. All of our people, rich, poor, unknown, and famous, who wear Gucci, authentic or fake, aren't going to do a full boycott of the products. Now, white people know how to boycott. They got pissed at the NFL. They burned the 49ers jersey, season tickets, and burned Nike shoes. They got for real with it. All that Gucci T.I. got, he hasn't done a video burning any of it yet. Excellent point. Candace, I think this is one of y'all, Mimi and Amirah's friend. I've never seen her before on my Facebook. I don't think any Black celeb needs to speak to social issues, especially if they are authentically interested or knowledgeable. I do think Black celebs have a responsibility to do no harm to progress Black people are trying to make, even when they don't agree. Dion, he wrote the verse like 10 years ago. Look at the documentary he produced the last years. He's the biggest reason Meek Mill's out of jail. That's right. Jay-Z has a lot of money. So that, I guess that would add to his point that money would kind of be because he got money. All right.
Mayweather career over.
That's here. Absolutely. LeBron is greater overall. You can compare Muhammad Ali and Floyd Mayweather. Muhammad Ali was a heavyweight. All right. Candace, I think people should only be compared to their contemporaries. LeBron is supposed to be better because of the progress we expect with evolution. Michael may have been better had he been able to sharpen his skills to LeBron's caliber. Mimi, T.I. song is trash. By the way, thank you, Mimi. The T.I. song is trash. My point with T.I., this is a simple question because I have asked this with someone in my class today. T.I., Jay-Z, any rapper Meek Mill, right, who was known as drug dealers, known as people who promoted either pimp culture or like the worst of Black culture, if you will, right? Are they in a position to call anyone out on anything if they made their whole, it's like, so if I'm a drug dealer for 20 years and then on my 21st year, I join the nation, I find Jesus, I get saved, I get woke. Can I now turn around and start calling people out on things that I made a whole career off of?
I don't think you can call people out. I think it's what's the saying about if it's a dirty glass, you put a clean glass next to it. You don't necessarily have to turn around and point your finger at people as opposed to being an example of what you think our people should be doing. Yes, Jay-Z was a drug dealer, and yes, people evolve, and yes, he can be a face for our community, for all rappers, and show like, yeah, you could sell dope and all of that stuff, and you can evolve, and you can own all of these businesses. You can grow. People, I don't think people should be held to who they once were if they've evolved. And I don't think you should point. I don't think you get much in pointing fingers at people as opposed to kind of uplifting them and helping them see their error. I can correct you, and I can also shine some light on some dope stuff you're doing as well. Like, it doesn't have to be one or the other.
Absolutely. Do you? The reason I bring that up is, do you think that if Kendrick Lamar called out Mayweather, do you think that if I'm trying to figure out like people who don't like promote a certain aspect of the culture, if Common did that, would they be in a better position as opposed to trap music? If T.I. is known for trap music, right? That's what he's known for. And he's the one saying, hey, bro, you out here making Black people look bad. Is he the one in the position to do that? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, wait, T.I., you talking about the old T.I. though? The new, wait, no, talking about the beginning of T.I.
You talking about out of like 10 albums. First of all, T.I. just had an album called Dime Trap. Like that's just his last album. Wait. So if somebody talks about trap, and felony, right? And then all of a sudden he's like, I'm woke. I'm calling you out on something. Are you the one that shouldn't you be more like humble to talk about people about that kind of stuff?
Hold on, before that though, T.I. was already all in the streets in ATL. You probably seen him out there, but he's been out there trying to make a change before this Gucci thing. Now, if he would have just came out of nowhere when this Gucci thing happened, then you have a valid point.
But I'm saying years. You talking about? I'm saying years.
No, but Josh, but you got to listen. though, you got to take time. You got to take time. You ain't gonna stop everything now. You heard him in an interview. I'm woke. I'm gangster. Hey, he do everything. He ain't lied to y'all. He told y'all exactly who he was.
That was a very compelling clip. It really was.
That's right.
I mean, I feel two things.
He told y'all who he was. Now he didn't lie.
I feel two things, to be honest with you. I mean, like the truth, no matter who it comes from, if it's the truth, it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I feel like our people have to understand, first of all, you don't have to be perfect to lead. You know what I mean? And just because a person is perfect, because there's some people who feel like, oh, you ain't been through nothing, you don't know what you're talking about. Somehow, struggle validates us or invalidates us, or you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's flawed in a way, because both of those people, someone who has trapped and then come into enlightenment and consciousness, they can lead in their message, and how they do it is going to appeal to certain people. Someone who hasn't been through all of that, and maybe perhaps they out the gate have been, pushing, they've been engaging in activism, whatever the case is. I mean, maybe they don't have that same struggle. They might have had privileged lives or whatever, and they're still fighting and advocating and trying to wake people up. They're going to appeal to somebody. I don't feel like you have to have this, I just feel like we have to let that go and listen to the message. But I do think Floyd made a compelling point when he said, and his point wasn't to say T.I. or people like him aren't qualified to lead or to wake people up or to advocate. I think what Floyd was trying to say was, they're not qualified to judge me, because so I agree with that aspect of his response when he posted and he was like, oh, y'all stopped supporting Dapper Dan. You started going full-fledged Gucci. Now, finally, Gucci acknowledges him, and, now people want to be back on the bandwagon or whatever. He talked about that. He talked about the fact that he doesn't do drugs. He doesn't drink. I felt like that was a very compelling post, and on the business side of things, there's a lot that people can learn from Floyd Mayweather. I feel like he's too valuable for us to just cancel, but at the same time, you got to call things what they are. But at the same time, if he's not there and he's not the spokesperson for Black people's issues, we can't look to him and expect that he's going to say exactly what we would want him to say. I just feel like he could have been quiet. I do feel like T.I. can't judge him. This whole rally behind me and call him, a fuck nigga, excuse my language again. I have a problem with that, because that's disunified. Like, there's no unity there. Like, how impactful could they both be if they one of them chose to be the bigger person? Like, T.I. made a song about Mayweather. Like, I mean, I don't know. I heard it on V103 and I had to turn it off. I couldn't finish it. It wasn't awful, but I just didn't want to hear it because I kept feeling like it was about time. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, excellent point. Amirah is... Okay, let me make sure. I want to make sure I get this right. Is disagreeing publicly... Should we disagree publicly with if there are two celebrities, right? Should Mayweather and Floyd, could they have had a conversation? Do we have to call people out publicly in order to get something across?
He supported publicly.
I'm talking Amirah. I'm talking to Amirah, Shakir. I'm talking to Amirah. I'm coming to you. Amirah,
yes, sir. Sorry,
Amirah,
brother Joshua. Sorry, brother Joshua.
Amirah, you on mute. Amirah, you on mute. Amirah, we can't hear you.
See, I was looking out.
Sorry. I'm just trying to be respectful. On conference calls, you put your phone on mute. So I think they could have had a conversation. One, because they have history. Do we really look to Floyd Mayweather to be? I don't look to him to be the woke person or anything like that. So of course, if T.I. calls him out, considering their history, he's not going to have the most positive response. He's not going to be the bigger person. He's not going. If you calling me out, okay, I'm going to respond. They need to resolve whatever issues they have. And that could have been a conversation. And you could have also had a conversation around whatever the issue, like with him going to the Gucci store and everything like that. That should have been a private conversation. And to you all's point, there is more power in unity. Mm-hmm. So even if Floyd had did the whole Gucci thing and then him and T.I. had a conversation and, he could have come out and said, after thinking about this, I do realize the error in my ways. I stand with my people, yada, yada, yada. Also, I don't look to Floyd for those things, but that would have been more impactful, especially considering how much these people are spending in these Gucci stores.
Right.
So And for the record, like I did some research on Floyd before this, and he does a lot of charitable things. He just doesn't like that doesn't align with his brand. He has a whole foundation where they do all type of back to school and all
okay, thank you, Shakir.
Black
Thank
and brown
you.
people.
Thank you. And I'm glad you did some research, Amirah. And thank you, Amirah, for doing that. Because Shakir apparently just trying to make him let the media brainwash him into telling us what Mayweather.
Well,
Shakir
promote it more than promote. Okay, now can I talk?
That's not I'm saying that's not his brand. No, but I'm saying Shakir. I gotta ask you the question
now. But this is the only red. Wait.
I gotta ask you a question.
Go. Oh my God, you avoided it. Go.
No, go ahead. But I want to ask you a question though.
Okay, I'm just saying, was this his only red flag? Floyd's only red flag? Is this his first thing that he ever came out of that was just like against the black culture?
I'm saying, I mean, he's
been much. You don't remember the Trump? You don't remember the Trump thing as well? You don't remember the All Lives Matter thing as well? He has a history of every time we do something just to shoot us down. He keeps us first strike. Even the white men where they cut you off after a while. I mean, I gave him. I buy stuff. I buy TNT. I mean, I'm saying I bought his clothes. I supported Mayweather, but that last step, it just threw me off. I kept giving a benefit of doubt for the longest. I said it's all right, you know, he probably just trying to say that. But now he retired. He ain't losing nothing. I mean, he made all the money he gonna get. Now it's like, can you speak up now? Jay-Z waited. Jay-Z made his money. Then he gave back to the black community. He helped Meek Mills out. He helped out all these little celebrities with their little court cases and stuff. So he gave back. Mayweather seemed like he just keep going against us every time the mic come in his face.
Amirah just told you. Amirah just told you he does it, but he does it behind closed doors. He's not married to Beyonce, so all cameras ain't on him, so he can't show that everything that he's doing.
And it goes against his brand. Like he's all about his money and coins and things of that. So I think his brand to be charitable. I don't know why. I mean, he does do some charitable stuff. It's called the Floyd Mayweather Jr. Foundation. Like he do some stuff. He got a team of people that's doing it. But I do agree with you with the whole Trump thing, and I forgot about that. See how we forget about the things. I forgot about that.
It's a track record. See, it wasn't just one thing.
Here, let's stay right there on the Trump thing, though. And talking about athletes. Jim Brown, who was the original damn activist who stood with Muhammad Ali and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He went to meet with Trump. Are we gonna cancel Jim Brown? That man, the greatest running back of all time. Are we gonna cancel him because he met with Trump? No. He was right there. He met with him too. So it's just like, all right, bro, I disagree with you. I don't understand why you meeting with him. I disagree with you. But that's it. I disagree with you. You're still Jim Brown.
But I don't.
That's fine. But that's a track. Like I said, it's a track record. He don't have a track record of being like this. This man has a. I didn't just attack him the first time I heard something about the All Lives Matter. I didn't attack him about Trump. But now when it comes to Gucci, it's like, come on now, can you at least speak up? Like, what have you said to the black community that stands up for him? What's your track record on that? She had to Google something. She had to Google something because she's not promoted. If you promote all your charities that you're doing, maybe you will influence the other rappers and the other people that got money to help out the black community. But if you want to hide that, but then come out in public and support.
Okay, that's a great point. Asmeejah, go ahead.
You don't like that.
I'm coming to your comments. Go ahead, Asmeejah. Go ahead.
I kind of forgot what I was gonna say. Let me hold on.
See what I'm saying, Shakir? See what I'm saying?
You stopped me. You cut me off, man. You cut me off.
You made her forget what she was about to say.
Oh, I was just gonna say that I don't agree with the canceling because people meet with Trump. I honestly feel like, that doesn't mean anything. I don't see any reason why anyone can't meet with Trump. I do realize that a lot of black people or a lot of people in general who they feel like, oh, you're meeting with Trump, you're canceled. I think that's kind of counterproductive because just as a Muslim, I feel like I can go into any space and it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm less of who I am because I go into that space. So that's ignorant. If we're canceling people because they're meeting with Trump alone, that's a problem. I know that when the pastors were meeting with Trump, And they came back. Some of them came out of the meeting and were basically advocating for him and ready to campaign for him. That felt a little suspect. So I don't know with Jim Brown and with whoever else has met with Trump what it was, but I don't feel like we can't meet, or our people can't meet with someone we disagree with. If Black people, if we feel like that, then that's just silly, because how can you come to any kind of resolution or understanding if you don't sit down across the table with someone you disagree with? I mean, so that was my only comment on that.
Okay, excellent.
That's right.
Shakir, I'm coming back to you, but I got to get to these comments. Here we go.
Yes,
Hell
sir.
no. Here we go. Hell no. T.I., Andre Illich, I think that's how you're saying his name properly. Wait, Tabari says the old T.I. just opened up the Trap Museum not too long ago. I think it was last year, Tabari, the T.I. did the Trap Museum. Andre Illich, I was mad about the Trap Museum. Yahweh, the difference between Jay-Z, T.I., Meek versus Floyd is simple: growth and development. Tip and Jay are 40 plus, acting like grown men. Currently, Floyd is acting like a child. Tip called him out on his morals for being a child, that of a child versus that of a man. Really? Okay. Oh man, the man hates Floyd. The man ain't do nothing, but you love the damn drug dealer. All right, here we go. Yes, I'm mad at Mayweather. Thank you, Andre Illich. Mimi says, I think you can be an activist without being self-righteous and condemning. I respect that Kanye West like a man, and to have a conversation when he disagreed with him. These adults need to stop the social media need and pull up to have a conversation and come to an understanding to agree respectfully. Andre Illich, you got to expose the fake. Carmen Naya is done publicly. It should be corrected the same manner. Jamal again. Floyd can publicly make a mockery of us. So people, we can make a mockery for him. That's right, brother. Stand up by all means. The messenger says, study the white man. He's on the opposite. Every community has unity besides us. This Dion, even when their personal needs are different from the masses. Floyd motives are personal. Andre Illich says correct. Okay, wonderful. Okay, here we go. Now, what I was, that last comment really made me think, should we cancel culture? We want to start with Shakir.
So what you mean cancel culture? Like just cancel out people that disrespect the culture?
No, I'm going to explain. For example, let me give you an example. For example, if we have siblings, I think all of us have siblings, right? Everybody has siblings. If you have a sibling, I'll be the sibling, right? My sisters and my brother Rashad, right? If I'm the bad child out of us, right? And I keep, every time I come to Thanksgiving dinner, here Josh goes talking his Naperville Republican, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I think I have Republican ways, I have conservative ways. Just remember, they disagree with everything I say. They disagree with everything I stand for.
Gotcha.
Should they cancel me as their brother, even though they disagree with me? Should Rashad, Mimi, or Naima come on his Facebook and be like, my brother with his punk, he thinks that all lives matter. He thinks that da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Is that productive? We siblings, we family. Should they come out and be like, because trust me, all my siblings disagree with something I do, and we all disagree with each other, but more than likely it's gonna be me. I'm gonna say something, and they guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna text me, they're gonna call me, Josh, we don't understand your love for the Kardashians. You know what I'm saying? Well, whatever. They're gonna say it, but if they publicly shame me or publicly cancel me, is that productive? So Shakir, should we cancel culture? Like, should we should we still be canceling people in 2019?
No, absolutely not. It should always be behind closed doors. Okay. There should always be a phone call, text message, or whatever. I think you should always handle family problems or any kind of stuff behind closed doors. Unless you came out in public and you gotta be on the defensive side, then it's different. I mean, if you went on your show and you just canceled me out, then I think I have the right to go back on your show and defend myself. So I think it depends on who's the attacker. Now, if the attacker comes over there and call you or text you, you attack them back through a text or a call. I think that it's how you do it. Hey, what you do is how you do it. It should always be behind closed door to me, or through a text or something. Because the thing is, you want to come to a common ground. That's what you want to look for. You're not looking for an argument. You're looking to see for understanding. You're seeking understanding.
Okay, excellent. Amirah, we coming to you, and Asmeejah, coming to you. I just want to make this point because Carmen said family is different. If we are all brothers and sisters, and this is hence why we use the term brothers and sisters, then aren't we all family? And shouldn't some family business be held behind closed doors? Because if we are studying other races, right, and they are successful, make no excuses for their failures, thank you for that quote, then how many times do you see Indians canceling other Indians? Though they disagree. How many times Asians do you see them publicly attacking their own, disagreeing? How many Jewish people do you see canceling other Jewish people? How many times do you see other people doing that? So is that something that we can work on as a culture or as a family or as brothers and sisters? That's all I'm saying. So Amirah, should we cancel culture?
That's right. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I don't agree with cancel culture. I think people change, people evolve, people grow. They shouldn't be I don't want to be held accountable, or I can be held accountable, but I'm not the same person I was 5 years ago. Not the same person I was a couple years ago. Like, so I don't feel like I should be thrown into the fire or thrown away because of how I felt a few years ago or something I said. Even something I may feel today, don't throw me away, because how does that make me feel? What if I have things to contribute? I'm not a one-dimensional person. Because I may have these views, that doesn't mean that I also can't contribute in other ways. I think cancel culture is trash. It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever, because the next story will come 3 months later on, are we really canceling this person? I mean, to be super transparent, yeah, I was like, okay, we're gonna boycott H&M. Well, Amirah can only really, I can't. So like, I'm just being honest. I'm being transparent. I don't watch football, so that doesn't resonate with me. But I still go to H&M. I probably shouldn't, but don't throw me away because I still, you know what I'm saying? Because I go to H&M or whatever the case may be. Show me a better way. Don't just throw me away because of a decision I may have made. Maybe I didn't have the knowledge.
Absolutely. And we're coming to you as Asmeejah, but I want to just make this point.
That's right.
Amirah, let you know, Shakir will cancel you for going to H&M because he said that's like the devil's workshop. Yada, 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 yada. We don't like
cancel me.
Oh, wow. Now she just throw all them bags. Hey, only if you start posting all them bags on there talking about, I don't care. Here go my H&M right here. Y'all pick that
This
up
is
yourselves.
secret.
Now, you would call me saying I just went to H&M. I'd be like, all right.
Okay.
In addition to canceling, if people choose to cancel, how about give us another option? Like, I love what I've been saying about all of these different Black designers. All right, don't go to Gucci, but you can also don't support Gucci, but you can also support all of these Black designers. You get what I'm saying? All of these Black entities. Like, okay, give me another option. Show me a better way. Like, okay, even if you choose to not cancel Gucci, how about you still shop with all of these Black designers? Or make it a point to spend your money with a Black business, even if it's not a designer. Maybe it's a Black restaurant, whatever the case, something to empower our economy.
Absolutely. And go ahead, Amirah. I see Amirah's okay. Should we cancel culture?
Okay, so I think yes. In the way that it is now, like, it's so impulsive, but at the same time, I respect anybody who can give a viable explanation for why they've withdrawn their support of someone or something. I respect them, because if they can explain it and it makes sense in their world, then I respect that. But I feel like we're very impulsive. This whole, like, for instance, this Jussie Smollett issue, I've been, sharing memes. They're funny, ridiculous and funny, but it's a sad situation. And I feel like at the same time, sometimes the cancel culture, where we're doing what's trendy and we're like, oh, forget about them. But in our real life, we really haven't implemented anything that truly cancels them out or that truly makes an impact. Or like Sister said, like, I feel like if Black people or people in general are just interested in canceling other people, but not actually backing that with some real viable change, then cancel culture is pointless, but it's just for show. And the memes are funny. I'm gonna always.
That's right.
Listen,
hey, it's therapy.
Because I have felt so convicted. I'm like, share, but dang, this is so funny. But memes are hilarious. But at the end of the day, there's a seriousness under the situation and whatever it is, whether it's Mayweather, I feel like we need to worry less about how much Gucci he's purchasing, because obviously, I mean, we can't look to everybody to be a leader, to lead us. I just pray that he gets to that point where he will take more of a political, socially aware stance openly and publicly. If he's running a foundation, I think that's beautiful, but I pray that he's actually invested in that and not just sitting on high while he has his people 100%. Operating the foundation and he's getting a tax write-off, because that's common for wealthy people. Everybody has a foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I
you
respect that he.
You hear that, Josh?
I respect that he has that. I just pray that it is something that matters to him, in truth. But beyond that, I do feel like cancel culture is pointless. We do get sucked into it. I found myself feeling negatively about a particular situation. And then when I actually sit down later in my personal time and I read around the topic or the situation, I form a more educated opinion. And then I feel compassion towards situations. I may feel a certain level of duality about the situation, So no, I don't feel like cancel culture is impactful if we just canceling for the sake of canceling, or the sake of not being somebody who wouldn't cancel. So I'm gonna go cancel, or because when Sister Amirah mentioned H&M, I was like, dang, I forgot about that because I was just in H&M. So for me to be,
Shakir, Shakir.
I shared it too. Like when the young boy had the monkey shirt on or whatever, I was appalled. I was frustrated. But I also realized that that's symptomatic of a greater structure that it doesn't have anything to do with H&M employees. It doesn't have anything to do with, I'm sorry, this is not funny, but the people who possibly are in Indonesia making our clothes. Like, if we really want to take a stance and say, oh, cancel H&M, hell, we probably should have been canceling H&M because somebody in another country is getting paid like 2 cents a dollar to make my sweater. I mean, 2 cents an hour to make my sweater. So cancel culture is pointless. It disunifies us. Like I said, these people are way too valuable in other regards for us to just totally cancel them out, because Black people, we always try to cancel each other, but certainly there are other things that we can cancel. Again, I go back to Floyd's post. He posted, he talked about, you tell Black people to stop buying Newports, you tell Black people to stop buying Ciroc, you tell Black people to stop buying Jordans. Somebody who doesn't agree with Jordan, not taking political stances could be wearing Jordans at the same time that they're making a statement, and not have the connection. You know what I'm saying? So to me, just canceling, I keep saying this, but canceling just for the sake of canceling and saying no for the moment, it just doesn't make sense. I think in our everyday lives, it would be better to invest our energy in making an impact individually.
Excellent. These are great points, and I thank you all for your comments. I'm coming right to them. I just want to make this point. If 3 years ago, close to 4 years ago, like 3 years ago, my mother was singing Drake back to back at Battle of the Bands, and I was like, damn, Mama, Drake really got you back to back against Meek Mill. We would have canceled Meek Mill. The same people who was canceling Meek Mill, taking the L's and roasting this man, making fun of him, are now like he's the face of. Now he's Malcolm X. Now he's Minister Farrakhan. Now he's the black. He's the. But y'all was just canceling that 3 years ago.
People weren't necessarily canceling.
That's totally right. That's totally different.
I don't think they were canceling him. I think it was more so like, oh, take that L.
That L.
And Meek today is a completely different Meek than he was 3 or 4 years ago.
Absolutely. Shakir, you do have to agree with everything Amirah say? You have to agree with everything Amirah say?
You desperate. Hey, you being desperate right now. Don't try to get desperate over here. Don't talk about the black on black crimes now.
Okay, listen. My point is, the Waffle House, there was a boycott. I eat at the Waffle House. H&M, good luck with me stopping. If I had to get like middle class fresh or like lower middle class, whatever it is, cheap fresh, I'm going to H&M. Starbucks, What are y'all talking? What are you saying? Like, I get coffee and stuff. Like, what are we talking about? That's what I'm saying. Like, come on, y'all. What are we saying? And as far as canceling people, okay, Shakir, I'm coming right to you. As far as canceling people,
go ahead, Josh.
Okay, I want to make this point to you all because you all kept referencing the messenger, referencing the minister, Warif Dean, the son of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, who sold everything away, did all of these things after the messenger left. So much stuff. The minister spoke so highly of him until he like I'm talking about like until like went to the funeral, all of that. He didn't cancel him. He was like, man, no matter what you did to the nation, it still was divinely guided. He wasn't like, nigga, it's over for y'all. Let's go to war. I'm trying to think like on a spiritual level, somebody can do so much, and it's still like, that's my brother. My father said he was doing security for the minister, and Jesse Jackson threw a towel in the minister's face in front of him out of disrespect. And he said the minister grabbed my father and the brothers on security. Was like, this was way back in the day. My dad was like, man, he would have been out of here. The minister's like, that's my brother. I see for him down the line. Barack Obama denounced the minister. The minister said, don't nobody say nothing about it. We're going to take it. That's my brother. It's bigger to see him in the White House. So I'm just saying to say, let's just be more compassionate with people. That's all I'm saying. And I'm saying it with celebrities, with day to day. That's why I use my family members. Out of my family, I know they want to cancel me 24/7. But I say, y'all be like the minister. Come on, y'all, don't throw me away. People on Facebook, Amirah don't even follow me on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we're not going to do this on this public forum.
No, I'm just saying, because we beefing, it's like, don't cancel me. Don't unfriend me. I unfriended somebody I went to MUI with the other day. I said, oh, nigga, you out of here. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, shit. That's all I'm saying, y'all. That's all I'm saying. Don't be so quick to cancel people. I was like, nigga, you don't like none of my posts. You unfriended. No, that ain't the right way, y'all. We got to be like, whatever. Anyway. So,
wait, Josh, how many towels did he throw?
It was just one.
Okay, now he threw three. Shakir, thank you. I'm just saying, you have a limit now. You act like these people would just say one thing and we just count them out. They want to have a track history, man. You can't act like you don't have a track history.
I get that.
That's the only thing I don't like. Is like, oh, one thing he did. No, we didn't even bring up him beating his wife. You talking about it's all right. You know, you can hit a woman, but sell drugs first, so it's fine. I see how you look at it. Go ahead. Let's go to the next question. You gotta know their track record. See, I'm a Mayweather fan, so I understand exactly what goes on with him. So you can't fool me.
Okay, Mimi makes a good point. Mimi says,
and we still watch. Wait, we watch his fight. His fight too, by the way, being you.
No, that must have been somebody else. I wasn't there. Listen, Mimi says.
By the way,
Mimi says,
and that was before that.
Mimi says, unless the person is a rapist, murderer, or child molester, I'm canceling all of them. I have she's canceling all of the rapists, murderers, and child molesters. I have a question. Shakir's a fan of Tupac Shakur. He makes it clear. He says he's the greatest rapper, regardless of him going to jail for sexual assault. I don't know a man who watches boxing who's not a Mike Tyson fan, even though he went to prison for a sexual assault, right? Why is it in our community, we'll start with Amirah, then go to Asmeejah, then end with Shakir, because only wants to defend Tupac, right? Why is it in our community? No, I'm saying I'm a Tupac fan too. I'm just saying, we're just stating facts right now. Why is it in our community that we will come to the aid of people who are accused of rape, murder, molestation, as opposed to, like, you never hear people call them coons, though. They're not going to be called coons all the time to sellouts. But
woman beaters.
As opposed to people who disagree with political stances. We start with Amirah.
That's am I on mute? Can you all hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. Wow, that's a heavy question. I don't know if I have an answer to that. One, I think that they can both exist in two different frames. They don't have to, I don't know. You got to come back to me. I feel like as far as like why we defend rapists, rapists, child molesters, pedophiles, all of that, because usually if the victim is a Black woman, then it really doesn't matter. Like if they're Black, if the women are Black or the victims are Black people are gonna cape for, especially if the accuser is a Black man, they're gonna cape for the Black man, period. Like that's just, as a Black woman, we're typically always at the bottom of the totem.
Damn, so, Mary. All right. They about to make you sad now, Mary.
Have that conversation at a different time if you choose.
Damn. Damn. She talking about your boy Pac, Shakir.
No, anyway, I don't know the whole. I can't speak to the Pac and Mike Tyson stuff. I was a child. I don't really know. Shakir. I don't. I thought they said that they didn't. Of course, they're gonna say they didn't do it, but I don't know. I don't know. I can't speak to that.
You can come in here.
And I just think we live in a different time frame. I think that protect the uncle that's the pedophile, protect the cousin that's a rapist, that has been instilled in us through generations. This whole new cancel culture, as far as that's new, that's something new as far as like, oh, we're gonna cancel this person because they're supporting these brands. Like, I think that I don't know. I gotta think about that. You gotta come back to me.
Okay. Mimi says state facts. Carmen says we have nothing to replace it with, so we will go back to Starbucks. Naima's in the comments agreeing. Mimi, Naima, just text me your agreements. Asmeejah, why do we as a culture defend people who are accused of rape, murder, molestation, anything else that seems like very extreme, which is very extreme, but then quick to throw off and cancel and call coons and Uncle Toms and sellouts to people who disagree with political stances?
I think kind of connecting with what Sister Amirah said. First of all, it stems back to the value of women. You know, I think this country in general has a very poor value of women. So when it comes to that, oftentimes if women are the victims, and if more specifically Black women are the victims, you know, Black people don't make good victims in the eyes of society. And unfortunately, we live in this society, so they've taught us, we've been taught how to view ourselves in a way, so we buy into that too. Unfortunately, if you add power, if you add money, then that creates an entirely different dynamic where somehow, because of class, you know, being wealthy saves you. Like, people have a harder time seeing you as a villain if you're wealthy. Being poor is criminal in our society. So, you know, if you're wealthy and you victimize someone, you can be forgiven for some reason. I mean, that's the society that we live in. I think too, when it comes to Black men or men, specifically Black men being perpetrators of those types of crimes, I think we're accustomed to Black men being conspired against. So a lot of times we're reluctant to jump on that bandwagon. A lot of times I think that women included, because you'll see that when it comes to people defending an R. Kelly or Bill Cosby or, you know, O.J. Simpson. I mean, Black people, we don't get that many wins. And, you know, if those people have been significant in our community and in our, if they're significant to us in the form of entertainment and things like that, then, you know, we rally behind them and we forget the victimization of the women involved, you know, the children involved. I don't agree with that, but I think those things are kind of intertwined and make for kind of like a complicated issue that we really have to talk more about.
Excellent. And thank you, Amirah, and thank you, Asmeejah. And on behalf of myself and Shakir, the men represented here today, we have to do better in our defense of all women, but especially the Black woman, because she's the most disrespected woman out there. You know what I'm saying? She's the most. That's right. Absolutely. Now, Shakir, there have been people like Kobe Bryant, who's accused of rape.
Thank you, sir.
Tupac Shakur, who actually went to prison for rape and sexual assault, and Mike Tyson. Why are we so quick to defend them while throwing others like Mayweather or people who don't take our political stance under the bus? Let's hear from you. No pressure. No pressure on this one.
No. I just think that it just seemed that it's conspiracy sometimes. Some of them it just don't seem right. Some of them don't feel like they really did it. Like when you hear Tupac talk about it, he don't seem like he really did what he did. What they say he did, at least. You listen to Mike Tyson, it don't sound like he really did what they say he did. Kobe Bryant, it sound like when you talk about him, it don't sound like he did what he said. It's like all this stuff, they allowed it to happen, and then the victims got upset, and then they screamed rape. It don't sound like R. Kelly. Like R. Kelly sounds a little bit different than most of these. I'm a man wrong, even though I'm at parents more than I am with him, because these are young children. Like, I have a daughter. If I know exactly where my daughter's at, that she's not coming home or she's out with her friends, like, you know where your daughter's at. So I think these parents allow their children to be taken advantage of because of, like you said, Mayweather got the money. See, so that's success. So they was running after that money and they neglected their kids. So sometimes we put that success, what you call Mayweather, with that money, and we put it over our own morals. And that's what I was trying to tell you earlier. Morals is more important than success.
Absolutely, I agree.
When you Tupac or Kobe and all, it's just the evidence. Now, if he had a track record, if he had a track record of doing this stuff, then I would agree with you. I would cancel Pac. I would cancel them all. But his track record didn't fit that. So that's what maybe, like Michael Jackson, how they kept trying to throw him as a pedophile, but never got proved to be a pedophile. See, they just throw your names out there so much. It's like they crying wolf all the time, so it's hard to believe it.
Okay, excellent. Well, we coming down. We got 2 more questions. Thank you all for the comments. As far as what you just said, I thought about this when you all talked about the black woman. Do you think how much of that comes into play with people like Chris Brown and the Rihanna situation? Do you think that that's like, is that like a cancel situation, or is that something that we should confront, or we'll start with the women? Amirah on that.
Your question is, should we cancel Chris Brown, or
like when something like that happens? Because like I'm saying, like I didn't even think about like, oh, it's because it's a black woman. I didn't think about it like that. It was like, oh, you know, they're gonna get over it. But now you like, it's because of a black woman, so I didn't even see it through the right lens. Like, should that be something we take it more serious or not?
Well, I think that should have been taken serious. I think it was, but I also just go back to the points I made earlier. People evolve. Like, people can change. I don't believe that we should cancel Chris Brown. I don't. Like, I think that he needs to go to rehab for multiple reasons. But that's neither here nor there. Okay. But I don't think that we should just throw him away. One, he's a child. I can't imagine being 17, 16 and then catapulted to this limelight. And then I have this high profile relationship. And then I have not even processed how it feels to be successful and to be in this relationship and whatever childhood trauma he may have. We don't know. I mean, it's possible that, I don't know. I don't think we should cancel Chris Brown, but I do think that people need to listen to Black women more when we're talking about violence, when we're talking about pedophilia, when we're talking about all these different things. And I think that we see that happening in today's time. We see people listening to Black women more. So I think that we're on the right path, but I don't think we should cancel Chris Brown for what he did, but just listen to Black women.
Listen to Black women. As we listen to Black women.
Listen to Black women.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm like, you just put me on. Like, we as men should get listen. Like, we gotta listen. All right, so as we are listening to Black women more, especially with the trauma and the when there's something like with Chris Brown or anything where the Black woman is the victim, what should the role of the men be, as far as like on social media or anything, our opinions? Like, should we just chill and just like listen? Because like with the Bill Cosby, everything, I'm just gonna listen. I don't know. I stay out of it. I'm just gonna listen. So what as a Black woman, what should you suggest that we do?
Okay, well, as a Black woman growing up, you know, the way that we've been raised, I feel like I've been very much aware of the plight of Black men in America specifically. I feel like I was raised with like compassion, everything from on the spectrum from compassion, understanding, all the way to some level of self-sacrifice where, you know, we might even try to overcompensate for, or try to compensate for the struggles that you all endure, you know, and provide some level of relief. Well, in that same vein, in that same respect, there's an experience that a Black woman has being connected to a Black man, and we have our own experience in and of itself as Black women. There should be compassion and understanding for that. So first of all, if Black men are the victim or the perpetrators of harm to Black women, that has to stop. And more Black men, more often than not, the person that harmed you is going to be someone closest to you. So as a Black woman, a Black man more than likely is going to be the perpetrator of my harm, or what I'm saying, wrongdoing. So in that vein, Black men have to first of all stop that, acknowledge their error, educate themselves, become aware, and then you all have to hold each other accountable, because though many Black women are able to affect change, to stand up, to stand against, and to defend themselves, I feel like Black men have to check other Black men. That's what's going to make the difference. That's what's going to make the change in regards to how we handle other Black boys, or as a woman. I mean, as a mom, I have a son, so I feel like I'm charged with not only helping to raise him to be a great Black man, but also charged with, protecting him, helping to understand how not to allow himself to be harmed, even if it's at the hands of another little Black girl. So, all of those things are tied together. When it comes to this conversation, you have lots to say about Bill Cosby. I personally do appreciate how you use your platform to express that voice. I see a lot of brothers and men in my family, people on my timeline who address these issues, and they're waking up, they're speaking publicly, and I appreciate that, because a lot of times men fall silent, and I feel like it's either one or two reasons. One, you feel convicted because you are a perpetrator, and I mean, it's not funny, but if you feel convicted and you're a perpetrator, we're not canceling you, because we canceling cancel culture. So come forward and acknowledge that you've been in error, be accountable, and then at that point acknowledge, I'm going forward with the resolve to do things differently. Because at the end of the day, none of us are perfect. I think in that Chris Brown and that Rihanna situation, a lot could have come out of that, and not just canceling him, because you have so many young people who, in my working with young adults, there's dating violence. That's common. And so boys hit girls and girls hit boys, and people hit and they play fight and they horseplay and they hurt each other. We joan, we bully, we do a lot of things to hurt each other and that are abusive. And so conversations could have come out of that not only allowed Rihanna to be a victim, but for someone to probe. And I hope people in her private spaces had that conversation with her too, because we don't know if she was hitting on him as well. That would never justify his choices, but we don't know if they were fighting each other. And if they were fighting each other, then there was error on both sides. I don't necessarily feel like it makes her less of a victim, but I feel like there is still accountability when it comes to violence against one another in our community. So going back to your question, as a Black man, speak up, keep speaking about it. That's all I can say, and hold each other accountable. And you all said you feel like it should be done privately. I think that's beautiful. I feel like it should be done in those private spaces, but I feel like too, if it's done publicly, it has to be done publicly with the purest of intentions, with integrity, and just with honor and respect. I love T.I., but I still feel like they've been trying to tear Mayweather down. They've been talking about him being illiterate. I just don't think those things are funny. It's counterproductive. It's like, I missed your message because you basically, while trying to uphold a boycott, you're tearing another Black man down. So the wokest person is going to see that. You know what I'm saying? I feel.
Excellent. Okay, Shakir, what's going on, bro?
All right. Shakir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Powerful, Josh. You got a lot of work to do. Hey,
you could be a clown.
No, but listen. I think no, but I'm saying, you can't just condone when you say counseling somebody. I think it got to be a track record too. Chris Brown had one incident. Okay, he even owned it to a certain extent. He said, I see the little interview on Netflix about the whole situation. How he said it was both ways, but he still owned it and said he shouldn't have never responded like he responded. So I can respect a man that steps up and say, okay, I messed up. I made a mistake. And again, he was only 16, 17. He was a kid. I mean, you can't condone it for the rest of his life. What about the mistakes we make? Do we want to get counseled out for the rest of our life? Now, if he beat up on 3, 4 different girls, like keep on having a tracker, then you got to counsel him out. Like he got a problem. He's sick. Like R. Kelly, he's sick. He had so many victims. Like when you get so many problems, then the man got to step up and say, hey, bro, you tripping, man. You gotta quit all that. Even people around them too, sometimes they're raised by their mother. They don't have a father figure around them that could check them and stop them. Sometimes it could be their uncle, it could be a brother, it could be somebody that they respect that could put them in place. Because our mothers, we can run over our mothers. Our fathers come in the room, it's totally different. We humble ourselves a little quicker. So that's why I think it is. It's just the way we was raised, and that all, even though you don't like to hear that, it all stimulates from slavery. Slavery is the root of all our problems because how they just destroyed our whole culture and everything. We don't know how we was. That was 400 years ago. We don't know what we was doing. We don't know if we was king, queens, peasants or not. We don't know nothing about our culture. We trying to find our culture right now. So you got to realize it's going to be some hiccups in a way, but you do got to counsel out the one that can't fix themselves, but you should help them. And I think Black people don't seek counsel. We don't like counsel. We don't like telling people our problems. We don't think we got a problem. So we don't talk to nobody about them. And we don't want people being nosy. So we be like, oh, I'm just going to keep that to myself. So it's a sickening amongst the Black people that we have to learn how to get over. But none of it is right, Josh. Beating women, raping women, anything with women, anything with each other, even fighting our brothers ain't good. Shooting our brothers ain't good. Even Chris Brown, you didn't even mention Bow Wow. Bow Wow come out with scrapes on his face, and everybody call it. No, I'm saying everybody look at it as a joke, like it's like if it was a woman, if it was reversed, everybody would call him a wife beater. He probably could have accidentally scratched her by pushing him off of her, but everybody would call him, oh, he's beating her up and all this stuff. See, you don't know what really happened. And then the people that's convicting us don't have our best interest, so we don't really know what happened. Now we had our own Black lawyers, our Black judges, our Black everything. Then we would get trialed correctly. So it's like it's hard, and with the media, they still talk about Chris Brown to this day. TMZ, they hate Chris Brown. All they do is talk bad about him.
They do.
So it's like it's hard to believe certain stuff. So you can't just whoa, that happened, and you just jump right on ship. Like I told you, I didn't hate Mayweather for his track record. Made me start, saying, all right, enough is enough. I would never just cut off a brother just for one mistake. It's multiple ones that I don't like.
I have an excellent point, Shakir. You teaching. I have a point. T.I. went to prison multiple times. You still support T.I. though, right? Multiple times though. Every album he was fresh out. Every album. You still support him though, right? I can't hear you.
Off what though? Buying guns to protect his family? He's a millionaire. He bought guns and went to jail.
Shakir,
I'm saying.
You know how many times T.I. went to jail?
Shakir,
you know how many times the man went to prison? You know how many times the man went to prison?
With the guns.
No, that was one time. That's one time.
Tell me which one you don't like, sir.
Huh?
Tell me which one you don't like. And then wait, it's growth too. Like selling drugs was popular in our community. So it wasn't like we looked at it as a bad thing, which it is. But sometimes, no, I'm saying. In our culture, because we're looking at how we're going to eat, how we're going to pay for our bills. So we look at it like that. When you sell drugs and stuff, we look at it like how we're going to supply for our family. We don't look at it as you hurting somebody else's family by selling the drugs and all that other stuff. So we're looking at, okay, yes, he sells drugs, but like marijuana. A lot of people in jail now are selling marijuana, but now America's making legal, so they don't look bad no more. So when do we look at our people as the same? Now, everything's okay because the white man said it's okay. Now we accepting people. We can't wait for them to accept our people. We need to do it amongst each other first. Like what weed? You know how many people now off selling weed? So it's like you gotta separate the two, Josh. Like beating a woman and selling drugs is totally different.
Okay, but you're missing my point.
One is about money and one is just off ignorance.
Okay, absolutely. But if you were,
but you said, what did T.I. go? T.I. didn't go to jail.
No. Shakir, this is what I'm saying. T.I. was rich as hell. He was going to jail doing Urban Legend. he was going to jail after trap music. You make it seem like he was some poor kid on the block going to prison. This man was a whole success story.
But
so
you don't know
he
what's
was
behind the success story.
He was
in his house. That probably was supplying everything to get him there.
I'm saying the man was married to Tiny. You make it seem like he was some broke. He wasn't no broke man on Campbellton Road 5 times in a row. This man was selling album after album, going platinum after platinum, and still going to jail. My point is, this is my point.
But your favorite movie is Scarface. Your favorite movie is Scarface. But
my favorite movie is Scarface. You ain't never seen me talk about Scarface. That ain't my favorite movie. You ain't never seen me talk about Scarface. That ain't my favorite movie. No. What I was gonna say is, I'm glad that we had this conversation.
Top 5. I'll replay it on Top 5 next week.
Please show me something where I talk about Scarface. But I said I'm glad that everybody's compassionate about the drug dealers, the reform, all of that, everything. I just want y'all to have that same compassion for somebody who might have a difference of a political opinion. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Everybody's compassionate for a lot of people right now. Y'all like, I know he beat Rihanna. I know he beat this. I know he's
Josh running for. Josh, you about to be a Republican. You try to let me know you about to be a Republican, Josh. I will support you to be a Republican, man. All right, if you want to tell me that, is this your way of coming out?
Y'all cancel. Y'all not canceling nobody. But when I post my homeboy tomorrow, I don't hear no comments on it.
It's not. It's what you do though, Josh. Like, how much do we take? Like, what do you think? Should anybody be canceled? Let me ask you that. Should slave masters be canceled? Like, what should we do to cancel people? Like, how far do we need to go before we cancel somebody?
You talk about somebody outside of our race. I'm saying Stacey Dash.
Okay, in our race, how far should we go? How far should we go?
Stacey Dash, Raven Simone, none of them.
No,
I don't think we should cancel none of them.
Cancel them out because
we should cancel them.
Because our political views is different. It collides with each other. So it's like, okay, you do your thing over there, I'm gonna do my thing over here.
But why?
You just say I can't. We can't see eye to eye. Sometimes you gotta move on. You can't save the world. If you're trying to save the world, it ain't gonna happen.
Absolutely. I got a question. Me, Amirah, Asmeejah, and Shakir, we all came on the podcast. We all don't like the same music. We all don't like the same movies. We all don't like the same whole bunch of stuff. We probably don't have the same political or religious subtext views or feminism. And it's all kind of, it don't matter, bro. We put that aside to focus on what we do got in common. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying I can find something wrong with something I disagree with on all y'all pages. Or it's like, for what? I'm about unity. If you're about unity, then you're gonna overlook that. Shakir, I see you keep posting this old music. Why you hating on the young rappers? I'm not gonna be like, you old hating motherfucker. I'm like, whatever. I don't care. So I'm just saying, so don't focus on that. That's all I'm saying. Don't focus on what we got, separate. I thank y'all for coming on the podcast. I thank everybody for watching. I can't wait to put this on YouTube and chop it up. It's I learned a lot. We started out talking about Mayweather, but then my tone scale dropped because we wanted to talk about the pain of black women, and I'm like, oh god, I'm like the plight. What I gotta do? Like,
because we should. No, that was good because we shouldn't make Mayweather the face of it anyway. That was a good thing.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but like I learned a lot from hearing women. Me and Shakir, we have great, Shakir's very smart, so we have great conversations back and forth anyway. But to hear you women talk about, a lot of subjects, but especially the hurt of black women and women, it makes me want to, do more podcasts so that we can address these subjects. Next Thursday, of course, Wednesday we got top 5, but Sunday I got some interviews as well. But Thursday, I'm doing it. I didn't pick I'm gonna make a status about it to get people on here. The subject matter is how to get over a broken heart. So of course we want to have some women come back on here. Of course we want to have some men come back on here so we can, mix it up. But I look forward to y'all. Next Thursday is gonna be how to get over a broken heart. I want to hear everybody's opinion. Everybody has to get over a broken heart somehow. Maybe people haven't got over a broken heart, but I think that's gonna be a good show. I want to thank y'all for coming on. Thank y'all for watching. We're gonna Shakir, say goodbye to everybody, bro.
All right, thank y'all for watching. Mayweather all day, TNT, support our black-owned people. Let's do it.
He's such a mock. Shakir, you want to mock for the rest of your life. That's what I'm saying.
Gucci. I'm just saying, I just think, no, for real, I'm leaving this thing, but we should have limits. We just should have limits. Don't just keep being the same man you was yesterday. Change. That's all.
Absolutely. But if I'm just saying, everybody has a crackhead.
It's over. This is closing statement, Josh. You ain't closed.
What will it take you to cancel Beyonce?
Huh?
What would it take you to cancel Beyonce?
What would it take to cancel?
Why are we canceling
Or
Beyonce?
Tom Brady. Tom Brady.
You know, he started. He
Brady.
asked us, "What would it take us to cancel this or that?" I'm like, "What would it?" Right, Tom Brady. What would it take you to cancel Tom Brady?
Tom Brady.
He could play in an all white mask with a hood on it. So what? He's a goat. So what?
Tom Brady can wear blackface, according to Josh.
Oh, that means you don't turn on me. Don't do me like don't turn on Shakir's side. My God.
I'm playing. No,
I know. Beyonce. I disagree with a lot of Beyonce's views or some things that she posts, and I just scroll right past it. Like I didn't even see it. Like if Beyonce posts something I disagree with, I'm like, whoop, never saw it. That's my wife, so it's just like, whoop, never saw it, because it ain't talking to me. If she goes on her rants about something like, oh, you know, the women, and I'm like, I don't know, you know, whatever. I just keep going. I can't cancel her. That's my thing. It's like, man, you locked in. I can't cancel her. I don't. She would have to be like, I hate your mama. That's what she would have to say. Like,
people for that all.
And then even then we gonna have a conversation like, come on, mama, let's get along. I'm trying to tone.
We can't cancel Beyonce. I was curious.
Believe, right. So Josh, so you don't believe in canceling? That would go conclude to?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because who am I? How can I cancel somebody? Like who? I cannot mess with somebody. I cannot talk to somebody. But I'm not going to publicly be like, I don't mess with this person.
Right.
I'm not going to do that.
Okay, publicly, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to like what I.
You shouldn't inform people. You should use your platform to inform somebody that they got a pedophile in their area and they got kids.
No, pedophile. That's what I'm saying. Pedophilia. That's different. That's what I'm saying. That's different. Pedophilia. That's different. That's different. All right. Now, I don't believe in that. I ain't gonna be no pedophile.
Why you gonna cancel them? Why you gonna cancel them?
I don't mess with them no more.
Why they can't cancel?
My life. Asmeejah.
Yeah.
Shakir, I'm always 2 steps ahead of you. Asmeejah, please say goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Amirah, Brother Shakir. Was a pleasure speaking with you all. Thank you, Brother Joshua, for asking me to come on. I enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you. Okay, and thank you, Carmen, for letting me know on Facebook and I'm canceling Tom Brady. Amirah, you know, you really brought the views in because people had never seen Amirah come out to speak on anything in such a long time. We appreciate that, Amirah. Say goodbye to everybody.
Joshua, I'm going to bypass your shade. That's what I'm going to do. It was really, thank you for inviting me. I had a great time. Hope to be back.
Yeah,
nice meeting you, Asmeejah. I love your views. Had a great time. Hey, Mimi. Hey, Naima. Y'all in the comments. Hey, Candace, if that's your girl. Thank you, Josh.
No problem. I thank all y'all. I want to use this platform to be positive and to learn, because I like to talk a lot, but I really like to learn. I learned a lot from Shakir and his opinion today, the people in the comments, but I really learned a lot from 2 intelligent Black women about Black women and the views. And I look forward to having women and using this podcast to empower women as well. See, Shakir, how you get the women vote? That simple. Boom, there it is. All right, yo.
Yes, sir.